Welcome into Inside Hilltopper Athletics. I am Todd Olam. For this first segment, it will be men's basketball and head coach Ben Howlett joining us. Coach, the Toppers, number 4 in the country, still undefeated. The last time we spoke, the Toppers, again, were on a pretty good run so far this season. Had 2 games since the last show, one at West Virginia Wesleyan on the road, and then at home against Davis and Elkins. We start at Wesleyan. The Toppers would win 81-66, and it seems like it's always been a tough matchup down at Wesleyan. They give you a tough game here and there. The Toppers still came out with the victory here, but what was your take on the Bobcats?
Yeah, I thought our effort was really good that game, and I thought from an offensive standpoint, we were really efficient. The only thing we didn't do was shoot the ball well. And I got a lot of the shooting doctors telling me that we need to work on our shooting, and everyone's telling me we need to do this and that, but from the quality of shots that we got, they were all really high level. We just missed shots from the perimeter, but as far as a total team effort, I thought the effort was really good, and it was something we could build on. So I wasn't as negative after that win as a lot of people were. I was very optimistic, and we got a win on the road in this league, which obviously is really tough. So still didn't play well, but I thought we played well enough, as a coach, and obviously I thought the momentum carried on to the Davis and Elkins game.
Yeah, in that game against West Virginia Wesleyan, J.J. Harper had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals. Lance Schuler had 13 points. They were the only toppers in double figures in this one, but the Toppers would win 81-66, and then they would come home, take on Davis and Elkins, still the number 4 team at this point. They were 8-0 going into this one, or would be 8-0 after the win. The Toppers got the 107-93 victory. Senators kind of there in the first half a little bit, but then the shooting really came alive in the second for West Liberty. Dante Spatafor hit a bunch of threes. The Toppers look pretty good in this one.
Yeah, and kind of like the same discussion we've had before. The first half we got up double digits, led them back in the game. I think we took a 2-point lead in the halftime, and then the second half, that was the best basketball we played all year long. It was almost vintage West Liberty basketball, turning them over at a high level and getting good shots. And not only good shots, we were making good shots, great shots, throwing the extra pass. And obviously when you shoot above 50% from the three-point line, especially with the way we play, that's always a good sign. But finally good to see some guys get out of their shooting slumps, and Dante Spatafor, I think he missed 1 3-pointer, and freshman Cam Tinsley, I don't know if he missed a 3-pointer that game, and he's getting better and better. And it was good to see D.A. D.A. came in and made a couple shots for us from the perimeter, and he is such a high-level shooter. He's had a tough start to the season, but again, he's not let it affect him. He practices the right way, and he's going to continue to make shots. And last but not least, that Andrew Scholl came in, and it was his 3rd game back from his meniscus tear, and that's what a lot of people don't know is he spent the first half of the fall rehabbing, and he rehabbed hard and got back earlier than we expected. And I thought he looked more comfortable out there, and hopefully he continues to play well for us, and I think his minutes will be extended.
In this game against Davis and Elkins, Dante Spatafor led all scorers, 23 points. Like you said, he missed just 1 3-pointer. He was 5 of 6. Cameron Tinsley had 20 points. He was 5 of 6 from 3 as well. Then you had Kyler D'Agostino with 19 points. Lance Schuler and Daniel Autry both had 10. It's fun to watch this team because it seems like for a while there it was Finn Woodward that was having great games every single night. That night against D&E, maybe didn't put up the stats, still had a good game, but it was other guys stepping up and able to put the ball in the bucket. It's kind of fun to watch that when the Toppers play that way.
Yeah, I don't think we have, like we have in years past, I don't think we have that one go-to player this year. I think we have a collection of those guys. And if you look at our statistics right now, I think we have 6 guys averaging in double figures. So obviously, Kyler is probably our best scorer, and that's kind of what he does. But if he's off, we're going to have someone else step up. And you're seeing J.J. Harper, you're seeing Dante Spatafor, and you talked about Finn. And we just have multiple guys that can step up and score for us. And again, the ceiling level for this team is really high. And we're nowhere near where we're going to be, but we are getting better. And I think you saw that last game versus D&E. There's been a lot of improvement, and we just need to keep playing. And we need to get in a routine where we practice for 2 days and then play. Practice for 2 days and play. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And I know you're going to talk about Charleston here later on, but we're glad we're playing tomorrow. We don't want to take days off. We want to continue to practice and play, and that's where we're at right now.
Well, as you can tell, Coach has done a lot of these shows because Charleston is the next question. Charleston comes to town at the ASRC tomorrow, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. or after the women's game. It will be a doubleheader. Charleston has a new head coach this year, but they have perennially been a very, very good program. What are we expecting this year with the new coach?
Yeah, well, first off, just from a personal standpoint, like I remember losing 3 times to him last year, and that bothers me. I wish it didn't, but it really bothers me. And obviously, like you talked about, new coach, but a lot of the same personnel. And you look at what they've done. They're 5-4, but they played a loaded up schedule, and still have Dwayne Jones, who was the conference tournament MVP, and still have CJ Meredith, who's their leading scorer right now, and still have their big. And they've added some pieces in there with Baylor transfer Zach Loveday, who's 7 foot, and we're going to get their best shot. And I think with this game, this is one of those games where just throw out the Rutgers. Yep. Obviously, it's not our rival with Fairmont or Wheeling, but it's still a team that obviously we're competing with championships for, and I think it's going to be a really good game, and it's a good test for us early in the year.
And it's going to be a fun one to watch, folks. So make sure you get up here for the doubleheader. The women's start at 5:30 against Charleston. The men will play after. It's been a fun year so far. Almost double-digit games into it as we get in. How do you break down the season? We hear coaches talk about breaking seasons into quarters and all these different things. Do you break it down that way too?
I do. We actually just talked about this as a team. Like, I divided into four quarters. So the first quarter is the first game to Thanksgiving. So we passed that with a check mark, right? And then Thanksgiving to Christmas, which is what we're currently in. And I think as far as this current team, these next 4 games will dictate our season. So, and then the third quarter is obviously January until the conference tournament, and then after the fourth quarter is obviously conference tournament and the NCAA tournament. So I've always dealt with it that way, and I think our team deals with it that way now. And our guys know this next stretch coming up is crucial for us. And both Charleston and State, then obviously going to Vegas and playing 2 teams right now. Colorado School of Mines, which I think is ranked 13th in the country, and Missouri S&T is undefeated. So we've got our hands full. But as a competitive person, as a competitive team, this is what you want. This is where games matter, and you're not playing teams where you're going to beat them by 20 to 30 points. These are all games where we have to play well or we're going to get beat.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time this afternoon and being with us. Good luck in the trip out to Vegas. We won't have another one of these coaches shows until after the new year begins, so it'll be a while before you get to see Coach and I together. Well, I guess we got one more game. We wouldn't be broadcasting that together, but one of these shows, it'll be after the Christmas break when we return, so be safe on the trip to Vegas. Good luck. Folks, stick around. We've got more coming up on Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. Joining me now for the women's wrestling segment, head coach Troy Bell. Coach, welcome back to the show. Had a duel or a try kind of postponed on us. The weather not too friendly up in Erie this past week. A lot of snow, so had to get this one postponed. We'll move on to the Kalahari duels coming up Saturday, December 14th, Heidelberg University at Sandusky, Ohio. What can we expect to see at that one?
Well, we're really excited about the Colorado Duels because this will be, our first time this year where we'll have the full lineup of everybody's going to be in the lineup. So that's exciting to see how the veterans are back in the lineup and how those freshmen and veterans are going to click together. So we're excited about that, and we're looking forward to it.
I got to assume it's, again, because we talked about this before in previous shows, just the physical nature of the sport, it really kind of draws you in to be a little bit closer with your teammates when you see them compete against other schools. So I got to have a feeling that some of those matches are going to be pretty fun for the rest of the team cheering on whoever's competing in that particular match. I feel like with what we've talked about, that physical nature with these teams and how well they practice together, that's absolutely going to be there.
Yeah, that's paramount to have a lot of support from your teammates. We had a couple of situations where one of the ladies even was down in the match, and she came back and won the match, and she addressed the team afterwards saying, you guys cheering me on and really pulling for me, made me think I can do it and stuff. So, it's exciting to be able to have the full lineup, like I said.
Yeah.
For example, Jamie Shapton's coming off a medical red shirt last year, and she was in the lineup and won the Baldwin Wallace. So, having her back in the lineup with a full team is really going to give us a measuring stick of where we're at now. So I'll really be able to measure what we need to work on as a team.
Well, we moved from what we have right now here at West Liberty University to what we could potentially have some recruiting. Had a trip to Florida. We've had some crazy weather back and forth here, cold, warm here in the Ohio Valley. Now you got a trip down to Florida and get to deal with some nice weather.
Yeah, that was it was really nice. I mean, I went down there. I left here. I think it was 14 degrees, and then time I got there was 76 and sunny, and so it was a good trip. I went down there to the Let It Ring, Freedom High School, and got to talk to a lot of the Florida parents and a lot of the athletes, so that was exciting. And to be able to spend the whole day talking with parents and everything, because that's paramount. That as I recruit these athletes, parents got to trust me that I'm going to take care of them, and we got to have a transparency relationship with the parents, and they got to trust that they're going to be taken care of. And I'm actually going to be making another trip down there soon. So I'm excited to be in Florida and talking with the parents and the athletes. It was a good trip.
And right now on campus here at West Liberty University, this week it's finals week. Now we've talked a little bit about the break before for the holidays and those kind of things, but for the student athletes right now, during finals week, how has practice been? Have you noticed anybody kind of happy to be at practice because they don't have to be studying for finals?
Well, yes. I mean, it's part of being a student athlete. Yeah. We all deal with it. It's finals week, and we got to stay focused on the task at hand and be intentional with your finals, intentional with when you're in the practice room. So that's the main focus. Let's focus on, like I said last week, that 90 minutes we're in the room and make sure we're intentional with our actions. But I know a couple of the girls didn't have any finals today, so that was a good thing for them, and they're actually waiting in the room on me right now. So I'm excited about that.
As the season moves on, I know, would you consider this a full schedule so far this year, or what we have scheduled for the season for women's wrestling, or are you looking to add more to it in the years to come?
No, we're pretty close to a full schedule. I mean, we'd like to. We're competing a lot during a break, so
that's right.
The girls we're actually getting 6 days off. Some schools are taking 2 weeks to 3 weeks, but this being our first season, I wanted to get in there and basically set the standards of the pace of the training, the pace of competing, and so you know what you're going to get if you come to the Hilltop. But I think we'll stay with this pretty much. Maybe do a lot more duels next year instead of as many opens as we've done this year, because second semester is pretty much an open tournament almost every weekend. But that helps us prepare and peak for the Nationals.
Absolutely so. And as we move on, the competitiveness so far, I know the way with women's wrestling, again, it goes from Division I all the way down to Division III in the NCAA. But I guess local competition when it comes to the Ohio Valley and just the Atlantic region. I don't know if it's necessarily Atlantic region for women's wrestling just yet, but in that area, what would be our biggest competition so far?
Well, I think, right now you got to look at Tiffin. They won the regions last year. You got to look at Gannon, who, sent 6 to Nationals last year. So, being able to compete with those two teams, Tiffin in Ohio and then, Gannon in Pennsylvania. So, it's no matter which side we travel, we got some good competition. And that's what we're always looking for. We're always looking for that measuring stick. So, it's a hotbed of wrestling up in this area. So, whether we go east or west, we get to face some nice competition. Tiffin's got some national champions on their team, and Gannon's coached very well. So I would say those are the two measuring sticks right now that we'll look to smack hands with and see what we can do.
And we talked about the break, the 6-day break for the holidays coming up. Some of your veteran leadership on this team, are they kind of happy with that schedule as well? That it seems like there's some vigor a little bit to want to stay there. I get being young and wanting to go home and things like that, but the competitiveness that it seems to be coming from your team, it might be 50-50 on the feelings. They're kind of happy to be back, but not necessarily wanting to be home too much too.
Yeah, I say when you say 50-50, you hit the target on that one. Some of the veterans are, you say, hey, Coach, we only get 6 days. But I actually have 2 of them that's like, Coach, I ain't going home for those 6 days. So I'm actually having to talk them into going home. There is a happy medium there. It's 50-50, even among the veterans. But, I expected that anyway. So, we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, I know you got a lot going on during the holiday break. This will be our final show until after the new year. So good luck. Happy holidays. I hope everything goes well. Travel, anything like that goes on. I wish you nothing but the best and good luck until we meet again in probably maybe not a month, but somewhere around there. We'll see. But again, good luck, and we'll see you the next time we have one of these shows after the break.
Okay, appreciate it.
Folks, stick around. We'll be right back for more on Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. Joining me now for the indoor track segment, the head coach, Jason Falvo. 3 different places this past week, but one was canceled in Erie because of weather. Same deal that happened with women's wrestling. Then we had the YSU Icebreaker, had quite a few competitors for West Liberty indoor track in that one. Seemed to go pretty well for West Lib.
Yeah, we broke it down. We took Friday to Youngstown State. We took the sprinters, jumpers, hurdlers, our distance crew to that one, and we had a really good meet. Our ladies distance runners kind of started the day with the 5K. Every runner in that race ran their best 5K ever, not just indoor, ever, which is unheard of. It is ridiculous. We continued from cross, and we knew that we were going to run pretty good. Did a great job, so it was great. Lacey Dimmitt, running low 18s, and Morgan Lazansky running mid 18s, and everybody else followed suit. So we're really happy with that. Came back and started sprinting. Our 2 young sprinters, Brooklyn Reynolds and Sasha Hunter, ran their 60, hit their lifetime best. And then we just kind of continued the trend the whole day. So Hunter Patterson, Lorenzo Ferrari ran what would be, our school record is 6.87. They both ran 6.88, which is great to come out the gate. So really excited about what they did. I thought George Donovich high jumped really well, kind of cleared his best height, his PR height essentially, then went out at the next height, which he did a great attempt at 6'6", so we're really excited for where he's going to progress. And then, obviously our jumpers, we knew who we had, and, Kiara and Sierra. Obviously Kiara hit her lifetime best indoor-outdoor by a kabillion. Puts her 6th in the country off the weekend. Certainly nationals was within range for her. I knew, and I told them both, Sierra and Kiara, that their outdoor marks would make nationals inside. And then Kiara said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and beat my outdoor mark inside, and so she's really in. And then that was the best that Sierra has jumped inside ever. She's a little bit off the provisional mark, but we're close. So we're looking for both of them to continue to do a great job. And, all in all, for having part of the team there, I thought we did really good, our guys. This team ran great. They all PR'd except for one of them in the 5K. Yeah, except for one. All in all, perfect meet for us. Weather was great. Travel was great. Weather was great because we were inside, which is always better. But the kids performed phenomenal. We kind of did what we thought we would do. We knew we had a good team. We knew we were going to perform well, and we showed up and did that. So super excited for Kiara and her school record jump in the indoor. She has, it's funny not to talk too long about this, but you got Kiara and Sierra, who are the same person, do the same events. Kiara has all the indoor records for us, and Sierra has all the outdoor records for us. But they do the same events. It's really neat to see their energy off of each other, and it works out really good. So we're excited for her and the girls team, the guys team as a whole.
And teams were split up. Then you also had at Mount Union, things went pretty well at that one
good
as well too. The Toppers seem to be doing pretty well early on in this indoor track season.
Yeah, no sleep for me. Got back at like I think we got back from Youngstown. I think I fell asleep around 11:30. Back up out the door. We were traveling at 7 a.m. to go to Mount with the next group. We took our throwers, our pole vaulters, and our multis because of the Edinburgh, situation there with the weather, 4 foot of snow, the whole thing. Our multis ended up there, so it worked out really good. The multis got a really good chance to break in and crack in. Jake Huffman did a great job. Had PRs in all his events all weekend, and his sister Jillian's going to be a very special athlete as she learns track. Right, she was a multi-sport young lady in high school with volleyball. I always joke she was the Gatorade player of the year. She wasn't. She was the Washington State player of the year in volleyball, and in some hoops, and really worked through some good stuff there. Our pole vault was good. I thought we were very workmanlike in the pole vault area, but then our throws, it was a lot of fun. And then Mount Union's a 200-meter track, so it's smaller, right? A 300-meter track essentially has a football field in the middle, right? Yeah. 200-meter track is a lot smaller, and so they basically go like shot put and weight toss are next to each other, and it's per gender who's going up, and it was like we'd have somebody throwing in shot put, PR, school record, Pam, go over to weight toss, PR, great throw, and it was like hype over here, hype over. We just kept bouncing back and forth, so it was really fun. The way that the total throws group, competed. We knew we had some talent there, but you just don't know. You just don't know how they're going to handle the meets. And to have Pam break the school record on her first throw, we knew she was a great thrower. To have Isaac Tavo come back off of football and throw the second best mark in the conference, and just some of those things, and the way Haley Norris and Sierra Davis, and just you can name go on and on and on of how they performed. We were really excited about it. We're certainly not done. We're certainly not satisfied with everything that we did, but when you put a plan together and you split the team up a couple different ways, you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, and it worked out really good. And shout out to Mount Union, just for the record. They had a semifinal football game going on. They had the indoor track and field meet, and they had 2 basketball games going on, and you would have never known the way that they did it, the traffic patterns, the facility up there. And I don't mean to talk about them when we're talking about us, but I was really impressed with that. And it worked out really good, and so it was a fun weekend to kind of see all that go on. It was also a really good weekend to see our athletes perform at a high level. So we're looking forward to Christmas break. No competitions until we come back January 18th. So a little bit of break, a little bit of downtime, a little bit of rest maybe, and then go from there.
No craziness over the holiday season when they go home. We got sports to do. We got things to accomplish when we come back. So Be smart, be safe. I heard some news, maybe not necessarily pertaining to track, but Coach Falvo is West Liberty's version of Coach Bill Belichick. No days off. He's proven it throughout. Last week, I saw a report. You may have some competition when it comes to college coaches. Belichick interviewed at UNC. If he shows up, you and Coach Belichick are going to have to battle for the no days off coach.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
In his philosophy, and Tomlin says the same thing. Like, and Saban said this at the time when he was at Alabama. In coaching, it just takes what it takes, right? Our men's basketball team is not good because Coach Ben doesn't do his work, or Coach Irwin and rest. Like, the hard work always pays off, and you got to put the work in. And if it's not from the head coach down, who's going to do it? So, we certainly grind with the best of them, and we love it. Yeah. It just takes what it takes sometimes, and we're happy to do it. And again, when you're working with great individuals like we have on our program and our team and in the university as a whole, it's really not work. You're just hanging out with family and getting some stuff done. So we're excited about that. Not so sure I'm excited that Belichick going to North Carolina. I'd like to see him back in the NFL, get that record off of Shula, but we'll see.
I want to give a little bit of a shout out to your assistant coaches as well, especially this past week with being in different places all at the same time. They did a tremendous job. It's always good to see not just the players come together as a team and support each other, and like you were saying, the hype here, hype there, because everybody performed extremely well. The coaches are a huge part of that,
Absolutely.
too. So it's good to see that the coaching staff can come together and succeed at that level as well. It's really fun.
We're very blessed, and we have a big coaching staff this year. A lot of volunteers, a lot of part-time, and they're really doing a great job for us and taking away from their families, right? We were gone all weekend, right? And taking away from their families and just spending the time with our athletes, and we get to see the fruits of our labor, which is great. And hopefully that continues with us, and we do some really good things this year. I think we got a shot, and can't be more thankful for those guys. And Coach Quinn's on campus right now with recruiting. He's running around crazy while we're doing this, so works out really good.
Well, Coach, thank you for taking time out of your afternoon to be with us for this show. We'll see you after the Christmas break. We'll let you know exactly when we're going to start filming up again. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back for more Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. It's the women's basketball segment. Joining me now, the head coach, Kyle Cooper. Coach had 2 games since the last show, one at West Virginia Wesleyan and one at home against Davis and Elkins. The travel to West Virginia Wesleyan, the Toppers would come out in this one, 72-66, a loss. But it was a hard-fought game, back and forth. And I know folks that are casual Mountain East Conference fans, you hear West Virginia Wesleyan, maybe not the greatest thoughts of perennial basketball being good at it, but right now it's a different team at West Virginia Wesleyan. They've got some very good players at this point down for the Bobcats. So what's your take on their program right now? Because it is continually getting better and better.
Yeah, I think first off, you have to give, Coach Vincent credit. You know, he's obviously a guy that's put a ton of time into this profession and then works hard at it. And, he's done a good job of stacking some talent, but also finding a way to just be a team that doesn't beat themselves. Mm-hmm. And one thing that's very noticeable in our league right now is there's a lot of times where teams are beating themselves, and it's leading to a lot of parity right now. So it'll be very interesting to see, as we kind of go into the last week before winter break of conference play and then get some non-conference, where things shake out as we head into, the middle third, if you will. But no, you got to give them credit. They play a brand of basketball that it's tough to play.
Yeah.
They don't beat themselves on defense. Offensively, they run a lot of good stuff that gets players to their spots. And if you find yourself just going through the motions defensively, all of a sudden you find yourself with them on schedule and them getting an easy look or getting to their spots. So kind of the tale of a lot of different, stages of a game. When you look at it, we put up 9 points in the first, 9 points in the third, but 24 in the second, 24 in the fourth. And I think that was a direct correlation to we were pressing too much at times in that game, especially in the first and third quarter, to go make plays and make things happen individually. And we need to settle into being us collectively, because when we're us collectively, we're showing we're a pretty darn good basketball team. So unfortunately, while we had a chance to win while not playing well on the road against the team that's number one in the league right now, you fall short by a possession, and it's a shame. But I think we learned a lot from it, and that kind of opened the door for us to grow quickly as we get ready for the next one back at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Toppers would travel back to the ASRC to take on Davis and Elkins. And when you talked about a full team game, it's a dangerous group right now for the Toppers, and that's exactly what showed in the game against Davis and Elkins. A win, 93-60. The Toppers would have some big time performances. Double-digit figures for 6 West Liberty players. Jenna Ricardo, 22 points. Bailey Smith, 19. Had 5 3-pointers in this one for her. Carly Anchor, 16. Olivia Baker, 13 points. Anna Lucarelli also with the double-double, 12 points and a game-high 12 rebounds. She also had 5 assists. West Liberty had 15 3-pointers as a team in this one. What a game against Davis and Elkins.
Yeah, and I think that's a direct correlation to, us getting live ball stops generates a lot of it. I thought that, while we were a little messy in the first, we were able to weather, a couple different flurries of us not playing great, detailed oriented basketball on the defensive end. We still got enough live ball stops to play in transition. But then as the game progressed, we really settled in. I thought the last 3 minutes of the first quarter through the first half, we were able to really take control. And when we're able to play up and down, play with pace, and when we play as one with that level of connectivity on both sides of the basketball, again, we're showing we can be a very, very dangerous team and a team that can compete for a championship in this league. And that's who we need to be. So I'm excited for the performance we had on Saturday. I'm hoping it springboards us into a big week ahead of us. A lot of individual accolades in that game, but the other thing about that game that I loved is you saw us respond better and lean into one another versus trying to make plays alone like we did the prior game. So for a team that continues defining its own success, we're finding a way to learn from literally every day and get better the next one, and that's what we have to continue doing because, again, this league is wide open right now, and we got to find a way to capitalize on that.
It was fun watching the game or calling the game against Davis and Elkins. It was fun to see the different groups of five that you would have in the game because you're getting some great contributions off the bench, too, from a lot of different players. It didn't matter what five was in the game. That ball movement looked extremely good.
Yes.
It was getting just to the open person. Didn't matter who it was. Wasn't trying to get a certain anybody anything. Whoever's open, we're making the play, and that's exactly what happened regardless of which five were on the floor.
Yeah, I thought, got stops, rebounded the basketball collectively, and in turn, I think it ended up being like 24 assists on 30 made shots.
Yeah.
If those three stacking concepts aren't who we are supposed to be in this brand of basketball, I don't know what are. And I'm hoping that continues to be a consistent staple for us because, again, it puts us in a position to be worthy of winning, and that's what we want.
Well, coming up, the Toppers will take on Charleston tomorrow at 5:30 here at the ASRC. Charleston has been a very good team in the past. What can we expect from them the first time we see them here at the Hilltop this year?
Yeah, I think, first it starts with new leadership. So they've got a new head coach. They've got some familiar faces, some players that have been there for a while that are assuming new roles, and then some new additions. But they are a team that is going to be, kind of set-based, and they're going to grind you in a half court. Again, kind of that Wesleyan model almost of trying to get players to their spots and isolate and take advantage of matchups. And I assume that that's part of their mission is to hunt the ones they want. So we've got to be prepared to play a collective brand of basketball on the defensive end that makes them have to take tough twos. And then we've got to be able to rebound the basketball because they are a team that has size, they have athleticism, and they're going to come at you. I do like the matchup for us, but again, it's two different brands of basketball. And much like we've talked about a lot on these shows, is whose system is going to prevail the majority of the game is going to give them an edge because it's just conflicting styles. For us, it's taking that next step, taking that Wesleyan game, or taking the Wesleyan game, learning from that one like we did in D&E. Now let's build off of the momentum from D&E and winning 4 of our last 5 and try to go get a big one tomorrow night at home.
Well, the Toppers have been on a tear as of late, but they're not being selfish about it. They're not thinking of themselves. The Toppers also are part of the Keep Warm campaign. Just a tremendous, tremendous deal for the Toppers and helping out and trying to be a part of the community and leaders of the community.
For sure. And this is our 8th year now as a coaching staff. My 12th year on the Hilltop, and this is something that we started 8 years ago, the Keep Wheeling Warm campaign, partnering with Pre-Insurance and Panhandle and YSS and now Walmart. It's something that has spoken to us from the get-go. It's about impacting our community and a community that supports us in a major way. So why wouldn't we want to give back? People still have the opportunity to donate. Please feel free to stop at any of the pre-locations or West Liberty's campus. Get your donations in by next week. We'll happily get them to YSS. People do not realize the impact we're able to have with these sort of things. And for us to lean into the community, it's everything for us. So very excited for that opportunity next week. Hopefully we can carry a couple wins into it on top of that, which would make it feel even better as we're giving back.
Well, Coach, this is going to be our last show until after the start of the new year. So have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all those good things. Stay safe. I know you've got some away games during this holiday break or break from these shows that we're going to have. So stay safe during the season. Good luck in these games coming up, and we'll see you after the start of the new year.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, folks, stick around. We've got one more segment coming up on Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. Joining me for the final segment is men's wrestling head coach Danny Irwin. Coach, the Toppers did very well for themselves in the Little State Invite all the way out in Indianapolis, Indiana. First off, what was the travel like heading out that way?
It was good. Yeah, we had clear roads, and it wasn't like around Lake Erie, correct? And that stunk for our women's team not being able to compete Friday. But we got the opportunity to go to the University of Indianapolis and compete in just a really good tournament with a lot of good competition. We were on 6 mats, and it was a lot of hustle and bustle for our coaches all day long. But the guys did a ton of good things.
Yeah, great finishes here. Jordan Waters, the champion at 157 pounds. Carter Weingardner earned a 4-3 decision in a championship bout. Also at 174, 2 Toppers faced off for 5th. Tony Abbott picked up a 5-3 tiebreaker against Bregan Pearson. Parker Bentley also took the top spot at 285. Just a tremendous job overall. He had 5 other Toppers placing as well. Just tremendous. That had to be one of the top teams there at the Little State Invite.
Yeah, we had some champs. So we also had Mason Christian, who competed unattached. He was the champion at 197. He took out fellow teammate, Brandon Johnson. He was a true freshman in the finals of that weight class, and just ultimately a good day. It was fun being around our guys that have been redshirting. Xavier Rodella, had a really good day. He avenged a loss. He had been, I think, tech-falled by this guy there in November, and now 3 weeks later he gets the nod, gets a W, just turned that match around. We had some other matches that were very similar where you want to see that. That's a good sign of development where you have a very concrete, hey, this is what the score was last time. This is how we've improved. It changed, the scoreboard quite a bit. So I know Xavier was pumped about that. He came back and I think he finished 4th. And Jordan Waters, you mentioned winning it. It's been a while since he's wrestled an entire tournament, and just for him to go 5-0. The guy he had in the quarterfinals was really good. Was was a state champion. Coming out of high school, has had a really good true freshman year. He beats a couple-time national qualifier in the semis, and then wrestles a nationally ranked guy out of the NAIA in the finals. And just the manner in which he competed, you could see that the things he's been paying attention to really paid dividends for him on Saturday. And Carter Weingardner, talk about delayed gratification. He's now been several years in the college. He's never made the finals of a tournament. So to finally make the finals, but not only make it, win it, and there was no easy bracket. There's a lot of good guys in there. The guy he took out in the finals, nationally ranked, I think 10th in the NAIA, and just I know that felt good to him. I know it felt good to me. He's been through a lot on and off the mat, and has grown tremendously. And then it's outcomes like that you do want to see, and he had one of them.
Is that one of the more gratifying things about being a coach, when you see some of your individual guys really come along, like you said, towards maybe have a lot of things happen to them and then finally break through and become a champion or win a tournament? Is it one of the best parts about coaching?
Yeah, I wasn't even in the corner for Carter's match. I was 2 mats down. Parker Bentley was getting ready to wrestle in the finals, and just I knew how good the kid was. The kid looked good all day. Carter looked good all day, and just it was a very heated contest. And to see him come out on top, and just he's been through a lot of just injuries. He's dealt with this, he's dealt with that, but he's really stayed the course. And there's not a tougher guy in our room than Carter. There wouldn't be anybody that would disagree with that. If they did, they'd have some toughness in front of them in the room the next workout. But it's a cool thing. There's some guys that crush it right out of the gates, and there's guys that they don't find it till several years in. And I think those are the ones that are pretty cool. Those are the what's you talk about, you work with your team on, they say once you wrestle, everything else in life is easy. I say, once you wrestle, life is more manageable. Life doesn't get easier, but it's that persistence that Carter's shown. It's just a good demonstration to our younger guys. You say to it, you keep this kind of attitude, it will happen. It's not guaranteed to happen, but it will happen. It might not even happen at West Liberty. It just might be one of those things that happen in life, and Carter's demonstrated at a high level for us.
Well, some of the it is finals week here at West Liberty, and we've asked a couple other coaches the same question. How have you dealt with this, especially this time of year when it's holiday season coming up, the semester is ending, finals are happening, so many different things going on, but you still have got practice, you've got other events going on. How does a coach keep everybody's mind on the same track and the track it should be on?
Well, I think when you just set a structure that academics and athletics can go hand in hand here, it's something that we're committed to as a coaching staff. When we're talking about Thanksgiving, people think, oh, it's Thanksgiving break, I get to go home and just eat and relax and do anything I want to do, or reminding our guys we signed up for classes, and we signed up for classes, and we get to go home at Thanksgiving. You get a break from wrestling, but you don't get a break from academics, and you take care of your academics well, you're going to be able to compete, I would say, that much more freely at the tournament we were just at, lead us into the week that we have, and really want to put an exclamation mark on it that, 2 years ago we had the most Scholar All-Americans in Division II, and we want to do much the same. We were 10th last year as a team, we were 4th the year before as a team, and we want more of those things, to put on the boards, put on our resumes, things of that nature.
So the Toppers, again, had a great time at the Little State Invite. The next time you will see them in action will be here at the ASRC, the Hilltopper Duels, December 22nd, just a few days before Christmas. I guess, what kind of a Christmas gift are you hoping from the team on the 22nd at the Duels?
Well, I think just to finish, putting an exclamation point on what this year has been, what this season's been thus far. I think Saturday, honestly, was maybe the day that we didn't have the biggest jump in what we've seen as coaches, from the eyeball standpoint. But there was a ton of good things from Jordan to Carter, Parker, Xavier turning that loss into a win. Levi Abbott had one of those, and a number of other ones. But ultimately, can we take that next step? We have a 2-week gap of training. We haven't had that since before we started competing, and now we make the most of this week, next week, and we're going to hit some good teams: Millersville, Coker, Ohio Northern, and those will be fun way to cap off the year.
Well, Coach, this will probably be our last show until after the start of the new year. So we'll let you know. We'll send you an email, let you know when we're going to start filming these coaches shows again. But folks at home, just wanted to let you know, December 22nd here at the ASRC, the Hilltopper Duels will be taking on. Again, it might be. Is it the first meet here at West Liberty so far this year? It'll be the second.
Second,
yeah, second. That's right. Correct. So get up here to see the Toppers take on some good competition. A great program here at West Liberty for men's wrestling. So make sure you can get up here as many times as often as you can to see this great program. So, Coach, again, be safe in this.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and the little break that we're going to have. Good luck in the duels, and we will see you after the start of the new year.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, thank you for watching. We will see you in about maybe 3 weeks or a month or so. We'll see. But we will be back for more Inside Hilltopper Athletics.